I hope you are all well and healthy and ready to learn the new things. So my name is Palak Patel. I'm working in the Mahatma Gandhi Institute of Technical Education and Research Center Navsari in Civil Engineering Department. I'm going to teach you the subject is design of reinforced concrete structure. In this subject, we are going to learn G+3 RC building design. In this chapter, G+3 RC building design, we are going to learn column design. In the previous lecture, we learned slab design and beam design. So in this lecture, we are learn column design. So be ready and good luck. Okay, students, we are starting design of column C10. So let's see what is C10. Here is a figure, you can see it's a C10. So we are going to design this column. So on this column we have interior beam, 4 interior beam, 2 slab, 2 one-way slab and 2 two-way slab. So we have to find out how much load on this column C10. So let's check. So first of all, we have to calculate load on the column. So for the load on the column, we have to calculate roof terrace slab. Means you can see here, if I can erase it. So you can see here, it's a column here, and here is first floor, ground floor, first floor, second floor, third floor, and roof. So at this time, when we are going to design a column, your all 4 loads in supported on column. So when we are going to design a column, we have to get load from the roof to the ground floor. Okay. So in this example, we are going to find roof load. So we on the roof we have a live load 1.5 kN per meter square. Self weight of slab. Okay, 0.135 into 25. 0.135 it's a thickness. It's a thickness of slab, and 25 is a unit weight of concrete. Okay, so self weight of slab is 3.375 kN per meter square. Then after roof finish 1.5 kN per meter square. Okay, so total load is 6.375 kN per meter square. Total load means what? Live load, self weight and roof finish. Summation of all these 3 value, we got total load 6.375, and total load we have multiplied by 1.5 and found factor load 1.5 into 6.375. So factor load is 9.56 kilonewton per meter square. Okay, these are the load on the roof. Then after typical floor load, on the floor we have a live load 4 kN per meter square. Self weight of slab 3.375 kN per meter square. Floor finish 1 kN per meter square. So total load is 8.375 kN per meter square, and total load is multiplied by 1.5. Find the factor load 12.56 kilonewton per meter. Okay. Then after we can find the walls. So we found the first slab load, second wall, and last one beam. So at that time we are found a wall load. So on the column you can see here here we have a wall on the beam. Which wall is interior wall is here. No external wall is on the column 10. So on the column 10 we have only interior wall. So unit weight of masonry 20 kg per meter cube. Height of masonry wall 3.35 minus 0.45. So height of masonry wall is 2.90 meter. Weight of internal wall 0.150 into 2.90 is the height. It's a thickness and here is a unit weight. So multiply by all the three, you got weight of internal wall 8.70 kN per meter square. Multiply by 1.5, we can find factor load of internal wall is 13.05 kN per meter. These are the weight of wall. Okay. Then after we have to find out main beam load. We have main beam. So we assume beam size is 230 by 450, which we design a beam. We design a beam 230 by 450 mm. Okay. So rib of beam is 0.45 minus 0.135. What is this? How this happen? Just erase this and okay students. So here is a slab. It's a 2R beam. Okay, and here is a beam dimension is 230 mm width and overall thickness is 450. Okay, and we found a load of slab. We calculate slab load here. We calculated. So in this case you can see this load is calculated, already calculated slab load, and right now we calculate beam load. 230 by 450 is the size of this. It's the size of this. So we have to delete this portion. We have to subtract this portion. So I can say here is a 450 overall beam minus slab thickness 135. So I write in the meter 0.450 minus 0.135. So it's okay. So that's why we use this equation here. Rib of beam 0.45 minus 0.135 is equal to 0.315 meter. Okay. Weight of main beam 0.23 into 0.35 into 25, so 0.181 kilonewton per meter, 1.81 kilonewton per meter. These are the weight of main beam, and we found a factor weight. Multiply by 1.5, 2.72 kilonewton per meter, 2.72 kilonewton per meter. Now we found the main load beam. We have to find out secondary beam load. What is secondary beam here? Here it's your main beam, and here is a secondary beam. Okay, so we have to find out secondary beam load. Assume size of beam 230 by 300, because we did not design a secondary beam here in the example. So we assume this data 230 by 300 mm is a secondary beam design. Weight of main beam 0.23 into 0.165 into 25. minus 0.135. So value is 0.165. So weight of main beam is 0.95. Factor weight multiplied by 1.5, so 1.43 kilonewton per meter. Okay, so we have all load here. And look at here, here's a figure of load. Figure of load here. It's a column 10, 6 meter and 4 meter. So on the column we have a half of the slab load on one column. If I am going to design this slab, my half slab load is on column 50. Half slab load is on column 9. So on the column 10, it's a half of slab load in on column 10. So here is a dimension is, I can look at, there's no there. Okay, it's a 6 meter dimension, so 6 by 2 means half, 3 meter. Same combo for here, 6 by 3 meter, here 3 meter, and here is a 4 meter dimension, so 4 meter, here also 3 meter, here also 3 meter, 4 meter. So which square is created? It's a 6 by 5 meter. So how that much load on this slab, this concrete, okay, this load is applied on column 10. So 6 by 5 means 30 meter square area. This load is applied on column 10. Column 10 loading area. Okay, simple. So floor area transferring from column 10 is 6.5 30 mm square. Okay, first length of wall 6 plus 5 into 1/2 by 2 into 3. 6 plus 5 length of wall, 6 plus 5 plus 1/2 by 2 into 3 is equal to 40 meter, and length of main beam is 6 plus 5 is equal to 11 meter. Length of main beam, okay, like we are going from here, here is all like, okay, on this behalf we have a 3 meter, 3 meter, 2 meter and 3 meter. So these are the square. Okay, so main beam means this beam, this beam. So 6 plus 5 means what? It's 2 meter, it's 3 meter, it's 3 meter, and here is a 3 meter. So 6 plus 5 means this 3 meter, 6 plus and this 5 meter. These are the main beam. So this is 6 plus 5 plus 1/2 by 2 into 3, 1/2 by 2, 1 into 2 by 2 into 3 is a 40 meter. So length of wall below the secondary beam, consider half on each side, half on each side. So 40 meter is the length of walls. Length of main beam, length of secondary beam, 1/2 into 2 into 3. Secondary beam also consider half on each side. So building load on the column in kilonewton. Now we have to find out how much load on the column. Okay, first starting from the roof. First starting from the roof. On the roof we have a roof slab load. 30 is area, 30 is area, and 9.56 it's a load on the roof which we calculated. So 2.86 into 8 kilonewton, it's a roof slab. Then after wall length we have 14 into 13.05, it's the load 13.05. So roof load is 182.7, main beam 11.272, 29.92 kilonewton, secondary beam 4.98, total load is 503.71 kilonewton. These are the total load on the roof of column C10. These are the total load. Third floor and second floor. Okay, floor slab 30, load is different, 376.8, wall is 182.7, main beam same, secondary beam same, third to second load from upper floor 503.71 kilonewton. So total load is 101.7 1097.42 kilonewton. So here is a, what is this here? It's the third to second. These are the total load, summation of all these three load, or load. So these are the total load, and this load from the roof, summation of these two, we got total load on third floor, on the second floor. Okay, how this is happened, I will explain it in the figure. It's a column, here is a roof, second, third, first and ground, and here is foundation. So we found a roof load is 503. Okay, and the first floor 593, same here 593, on the same 593. So these are the same load, but 503 on this point, and I am going to design this column. So at this point we got 503 plus 593, means this load is applied on this point. Same formula for here, I am going to design this column, so I have to find a load on this point. So it's the 503 plus 593 plus 593. Same condition from here, 503 plus 593 plus 593 plus 593. Okay, this is all load. So if I'm going to design this beam, this point is from here. Okay, so in the column we have to summation all the load one by one. Same formula for second and first. Load from upper floor 1097.42, second to first 593. So total load is 1691.30 kilonewton. First floor and plinth, so load from upper floor 1691.30 kilonewton. First plinth 593.71, total load 2284.84 kilonewton. Column between the plinth and footing, assume no floor slab at plinth, consider only plinth beam, no walls. Okay, column between plinth and footing. So in this figure you can see here it's a plinth and here is a footing. So in this point we have only beam, no slab, no wall. We assume this. Okay, for plinth to footing. So weight of main beam, weight of secondary beam, weight of column, Okay, so here is we got a 3 load. So total load is 40.96 kilonewton. So load from upper floor to 284.84 kilonewton, plinth to footing, and total load on footing 2325.8 kilonewton. 2325.8 kilonewton. These are the total load on the footing, and this load we use for a design a footing. But right now we have to design a column. Let's check. Here is the load mechanism. Look at here. 503.71. It transfer here. Then 593.71. It transfer here. So total load is 1097.42. 93.71 it transfer here, so 1691.30. So this load is 2284.94, and here is a ground floor is completed, and then it's a plinth to footing 4096. So total load on the footing is 2325.8 kilonewton. So right now we have to design a column at a ground floor. We have to design a column at ground floor. So on the ground floor we have a load 2285 kilonewton. 2285 kilonewton. PU. PU means load on the column. MU. Moment 37.68 kilonewton into meter from substitute frame method analysis. Okay, you know how to analysis a column. MUY 35 kilonewton into meter. Assume size of column 300 mm by 600 mm. Okay, then after effective cover 60 mm, B 300 mm, D 600 mm. These are the assumption data. Maximum unsupported length of column. So length is 2290 mm. So 35.50 is the height of flooring, and 450 is a beam size. So length is 2900 mm. Now we have to go IS code IS 456, page number 94, table number 28. So let's check. IS 456, page number 94. IS 456 2000, page number 94, table number 28. So here is a table number 28, effective length of compression member. Okay, now we have the degree of end restraint of compression member, effectively held in the position restrain against rotation at both end, effectively held in the position at both end and rotate at one end, effectively held in position at both end but not restrain against rotation. So in this condition we have for a brushed column. So let's found where is a brushed column. Okay, so in this condition we have a two condition here: effectively held in a position and restrain against rotation in both ends. Okay, then theoretical value of effective length is 0.50 L, but recommended value of effective length is 0.65 L. So we have to use 0.65 L. So LEX 0.65 L. So 0.65 into 2990. So length is 1885 mm. Okay, now we have to go against on the IS 456 2000, page number 41. IS 2006, page number 41 means 50. 40, yeah, here is a 41. Look at here, short and slender compression member. The compression member may be considered as short when the both slenderness ratio LEX by D and LE by D are less than 12. So let's check LEXD and LE by D B is less than 12 or not. So LEX capital D is less than 12 and LEX LEYB is less than 12. So column is short column. Okay. Now we have to find out trial section. So total load is 2 to 85 kilonewton. Okay. Mu 1.15 under root MUX square plus under root MUI square. So Mu value is 51.43. Okay. And design a column for uniaxial moment Mu for the bending about X axis. Okay. So we are design for the column here D dash by D. So 60 by 6000 is equal to 0.10. PUFCKBD 2 to 85 into 10 raised to 3 divided by 20 into 300 into 6000. Sorry, 600. So PU value is 0.165. Mu upon FCKBD square. This value. Okay, we have to find out this two value. For this you have to follow IS SP60 chart 44. But here is PU upon FCKBD, Mu upon FCKBD, value is 0.65, 0.045, D dash by D 0.1, FY 415. Let's check SP60 chart 44, which page number 29. Page number 129. Here we have Mu FCKBD square, PU FCKBD square. So value is Mu FCKBD square 0.024, 0.024. Where is chart पे यार मैं भूल जाता हूँ 0.02, sorry 0.024. Okay, 0.024 means here is a 0, here is a 0.1. So in between this we have a 0.02. So here 0.1, here is a 0.02. So second rate is 0.02. Okay, and PU value is PUFCKBD is 0.635. 0.6 means here it's here, and so meeting at this point. But let's check, we have a point, so we meet at here between, what is this, 0.05 and 0.06. So our value is 0.05 and 0.06 in between these two. So we have a point FCK 0.075. So P is 0.075 into 20. So PT is 1.5. 0.246 and 8. Okay, 0.6 and 0.8. Okay, yeah. So value in between 0.06 and 0.08, in between this. So value is 0.075. Okay. Then after ASC, we got 2770 mm square. So provide 6 numbers of bar at 28 diameter. So actual PT is 2.05. We provide 6 number of bar of 28 diameter. So actual AST is 3694 mm square. So actual PT is 2.05. Find MUX1. Now we have to check this design is safe or not. So for find check we have to follow P by FCK. So P is 2.05, FCK 20. So value is 0.125, 0.102, 0.102, 0.102. Then after PU, PUFCK did is chart and MUX1 upon FCK square. So we have to find out MUX, and this value is 11.8 kilonewton into meter. How this find out? We find out from the SP60 chart number 44. So P is 0.635. Okay, let's check. P is 0.165, but we have a chart here. PFCK value is 0.102. PFCK value is 0.102. So here is a 0.0, 0.2. So our value is in between this. Okay. P by FCK in between this value. Nah, 0.1, nah. 0.1, okay, 0.1. So 0.8. So here graph it meets here. So our value is, yeah, look at it. So by this method we can find out MUX upon FCK square is 0.05. MUX1 118.8 kilonewton per meter. Same method for MUY1. PFCK moment about x axis, y axis. PUFCK from the chart 46, MUY 0.045. So MUY1 is 0.48 km per meter. Now we can find out PUZ. PUZ from IS 456 2000, page number 71. IS 456 2000, page number 71. Here is the equation here. 0.4 FCK ASC plus 0.65 FY ASC. ASC means area of concrete. Area of concrete. So ASC is concrete area is 300 by 600, but we have to remove a steel area which is 3694. So subtract this two value, we found area of concrete here. ASC we have. So PUZ is 2736 kilonewton. 2736 kilonewton. This load can carry by a column which we design. Okay, so PUZ is 2736 kilonewton. Now we have to find alpha n. PU upon PUZ. So since PU upon PUZ is 0.8, so alpha n is 2. How this happen? So here we have alpha n value here. Alpha n is related to PU upon PUZ. For value P upon PUZ is 0.2 to 0.8. The value of alpha n vary literally from the 1 to 2. For the value less than 0.2, alpha n is 1, and for the value greater than 0.8, alpha n is 2. So PU upon PUZ, PU upon PUZ value is greater than 8, so alpha n is 2. Now we have to check for the iteration formula. SP60 page number 2000, IS 456 page number 2000, page number 71. Look at here. Here is a graph. MUX divided by MUX1 into raised to alpha m plus MUI upon U MU1 Y1 alpha n. Put the all value MUX upon MUX1 alpha n. We got the value is 0.65 is less than 1. So our design is okay. So 6 numbers of bar at 28 diameter is design is completed. Now we have to design lateral ties. Lateral ties we have to first diameter of tie. We have the IS 456 2000 page number 49. We have two condition here. 1 by 4 into 20 or 6 mm, whichever is greater. 1 by 4 into 20. How this happen? Let's check what is given in the IS code page number 41. Nine, 42, 43, 44, 45, 46, 48, 7, 48 and 49. Traverse reinforcement. Each of torsion shall be list of diameter of the polygonal lateral shall not be less than 1/4 the diameter of largest longitudinal part. Diameter. The diameter of the polygonal link or lateral ties shall be not less than 1/4 of the diameter of the largest longitudinal bar, or in no case less than 16 mm. Okay. So use 6 mm diameter ties here. Now we have the pitch means the spacing between the lateral ties. Least lateral ties 300 mm or 16 to 20 or 300. Provide 6 mm tie as 300 mm center to center. So these are the design here. You can see width, depth is given. 28 diameter of bar is 6 number. Here is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and 6. These are the longitudinal bar. And lateral ties here. 6 mm diameter at 300 mm center to center lateral ties is provided. These are the extra bar. Cross tie is provided if required. Okay.